Yeah, we're Canadian Bavarian Millwork, family-run business that's got its starts in the early 80s. And we do a lot of various custom millwork and tongue and groove type cladding, ceiling, soffits, anything really that you can think of. We can do. Like we do a lot of interior doors. We do. So we have a high-end cabinet shop too attached to it, right? Millwork. So okay. We're very vertically integrated. We go right up. We bid on timber sales. We partner with contractors that harvest, and then we cut those logs, and we take it all the way down to a stained product ready for install. Most of our timber sales that we buy the logs from are through BCTS, so BC Timber Sales, and they auction off blocks to various companies. So yeah, the government sells rights to log the timber in the forest. Well, we're purchasing the logs, right? Yeah. The government is selling those logs, and those belong to everybody. Yeah. They belong to you and me and all the other taxpayers in the province of British Columbia. Well, it goes to your roads, your hospitals, your schools. It gets reinvested in the provincial economy. Yeah, we buy logs from First Nations, from community forests, from individuals, from large companies, from large tenure holders. We get the logs from wherever we can. Yeah, there's multiple different things that you can make out of a log: boards, timbers, and then down the line, those boards turn into various other products, right? From studs for anybody's house to siding to ceiling, soffit. The list goes on, right? Well, there is no waste wood. We process all the residuals off when we're cutting. All the residuals go into various different products. We chip for the purpose of making compressed sawdust logs, briquettes for home heating applications. And our facility is actually heated with a biomass burner. So we burn the sawdust that we generate off of our machinery when we're further processing those boards. And that heats our kilns, and that heats our shop floor. So we don't burn any natural gas here. Power management, yeah. So we actually have installed a full solar system, and that we use that to power our facility to offset the load coming in from the grid. And our next phase that we're going to be pursuing later this summer is to put a storage system, so a big battery system in that levels our demand from the grid. And we've also switched our forklift fleet to electric forklifts, so we don't really need to run any more propane forklifts. Yeah. Our products are sold worldwide, actually. Yeah, they go. We send quite a bit down south to Hawaii, to the East Coast, to down to California. We sell a lot locally in BC. A lot of our product goes into the Lower Mainland, up to Whistler, Gulf Islands. We've sold to Europe. We just sent a container to Australia. So yeah, our products are, the wood that we're manufacturing here from island logs is being shipped all around the world. We sell a lot of high-end product. That's really kind of our niche. That's what we specialize in. So we've seen some pretty incredible homes that are putting in beautiful wood products. So these are single-piece sills. So this is for that Amherst project, and so we were working with the architects actually in terms of how do we integrate these features into their architectural vision. 4.5 by 14. We had to run it through the molder a couple times because it hogged off so much material, and then put in the drip grooves, and this is to incorporate into the siding. So this is where we can add even more value to our normal tongue and groove boards. We can do anything with the CNC machine. It really allows us a lot of flexibility. A CNC machine is essentially, you have them for metal, you have them for wood. Essentially even like your little your 3D printer, right? It's the same concept, right? So you program in what you want the machine to do, and it takes the tooling and it follows your instructions. The computer, this represents the CNC table, right? So, and then this would be where, so he's going to be putting on a piece of wood, the board, right here in the corner by these 3 pegs, and then so the computer then knows where that piece of wood is. The machine then picks up whatever piece of tooling it requires to make, to cut the grooves or cut the holes or the doweling or whatever in that piece of wood. You can see how textured this is? Yeah. So this is a wire brushed face. So the flat grain cedar actually works the best because the texture really rises, right? So these will be corner applications, right? And if you can see here, this is basically the tongue and groove that the siding will then go into. As a tree grows, and when a tree is cut down, you can see the rings, right? And the rings represent the hardwood and the softer wood. And so when we process this and run a strong wire brush through it, the softer wood gets basically gets cleared off, right? And then the harder wood, stays solid, and yeah, it creates a nice texture. This is flat grain. This is cut with the grain, and so flat grain boards are generally you get them when you're doing opening cuts of the log. So you take off the bark, and then your next cut is generally a flat grain piece of wood. Yeah. And it, like I was saying earlier, it works really nice for a wire brush application, but sometimes it's tough to get volume because it's more of a residual thing when you're cutting nice logs. So vertical grain is generally what you want. Vertical grain is more stable. The siding application, it's just far more stable, the vertical grain, as opposed to the flat grain. The flat grain, especially if it's in wider applications, it tends to cup, right? You can probably see that on any soffit that anybody, or a fascia that people put up, right? All of a sudden, it's doing this. The end use of these products is going to be corners in a building application. This is an institutional building, so this will be wrapping around a corner, probably maybe a steel beam corner, and then